Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Trina, and in today's video I am going to be sharing with you all of the pages and notebooks that I have for the month of April. Some of these are new and some of these that you have seen in like previous flip throughs of like previous months in my journals. They are not here because April has been quite of a chaotic mess, to be perfectly honest, and I didn't have that much time or energy or motivation to use them. So one of them being my daily writing journal, which I sadly have abandoned yet again. But I'm going to pick it up one of these days. I don't know. We'll see when the mood strikes. So we're going to do this again, like my anytime I have the motivation to do so. My weeklies, my monthlies, my weeklies, my weekly, daily, and then my something else. So the two notebooks that you aren't seeing here in this pile, unlike the last few months, is my daily writing as well as my anime review journal, because even though I have watched like 2 or 3 anime in the span of this month, I didn't really put anything in there, like logged anything in there, so I'm not counting it because I haven't touched it. So yeah, we're going to begin with these two. As always with my 5-year journal, one event I guess or something per day. It's not necessarily one line a day because I use multiple lines here. It's been going quite well. I haven't really been like, for the previous month I have been keeping up with this like every week. However, for the month of April I didn't really do this until the very end, like the 30th, which is kind of exhausting, but then again I'm using a fountain pen, so it was like a fun little moment wherein I could freely use my fountain pen in here. So I'm going to flip through this. And for the month of April, it has been chaotic because I have my LASIK surgery early on in the month and had to like have these different checkups. I had to recover. That's why I haven't been logging into like all of my journals, because I needed to rest a bit, and like carrying a bunch of journals to and from my room or my bed was kind of a bit exhausting. So yeah, I haven't really been filming at all that much for the month of April throughout when it comes to like weekly vlogs. And yeah, that's why I have been having like a lack of like content for much of April. But in any case, it gave me like at least time to think about new content, new ideas, and something that I probably want to do in the near future, something like that. It gave me time. For my monthly overview-ish, sort of one line a day situation memory keeping, this is how it looks like. It looks neater, I guess. I think it was in the other journal that I complained about March's monthly spread, but this I like. This is like very precious. I really enjoy looking at this. And also to the side here where I usually put my anime related stuff, I decided to put all of my books that I have actually listened to on audiobook or read when I have finally recovered my eyes. There's a lot there, so I am yet to film my wrap up of my April reads, but this is like the overview if you're interested in that. Very pink and green spread, and I really like the combination of this. Pretty cute. And yeah, that is the monthly memory keeping spread. The next I have here is my monthly monthly journals, as well as my weekly Cozy and Chaos vlog binder. So for the monthly journal, yearly and monthly, let's check in a bit. I haven't really checked in this notebook other than to film for my May spreads, and I haven't really been looking at this recently. So this is my shows master list. I don't think I have anything to cross out from this because I haven't really been watching anime all that much. I guess it's not necessarily a slump. It's just that I choose to like have the mood to read for the month of April rather than watching anime. So anime fell by the wayside a bit for the month of April. I haven't really been keeping track of this one. However, I do know that some of the pieces here have already been like for example my sticker flakes. Some of them here are already ran out at this point, but I haven't really physically counted each and every one of them like this one. Some of the notebooks I guess I have also used or used up. As for washi, I also have a few rolls that I think I have finished and gone through. Paint palettes I haven't touched. Papers, I also have like 1 or 2 folders that I have already consumed. So in a way, our stash down project for the whole year of 2024 is working out well. As for like yarn stash, I'm not going to like look into that anymore. It's going to be there until I have the mood to do that. As for this, I actually promised like a video of like quarterly stash down empties and like reset videos like I did last year. However, the quarter one ended when I had my surgery, so I'm just going to do this like half a year. I still have my empties pouch still there. It isn't as full as it usually is because I have been like using up more scrap pieces of paper rather than stickers and washi, so it's not that full yet at the end of quarter one. So we'll see at the end of quarter two of how full it's going to be. Then probably I could populate these spreads during that time. As for my goals and challenges portion, I have actually read 20 books in 2024. I have already upped the to read challenge, reading challenge in Goodreads as 100 books because I started including manga. I wasn't supposed to add manga in my Goodreads account, but because of one reading vlog that I have recently, which is already up if you're interested in that, it is the curse content or curse related literature and stories, I guess, like horror stories. It is already up, and I read Hell's Paradise, the manga for that, and yeah, it counted up. Like Hell's Paradise has 13 volumes. So in the My Anime List app, when you count manga, you count it as a whole, while in the Goodreads app, you actually count them by the volume because of course it's books. So you count them by the volume. 13 volumes is already like more than 50% of like my total goal for the whole year. So I bumped it up to 100, and I haven't really placed Hell's Paradise here, but I finished it. So other than that, I did make 10 sales, but this was like previous months. Reduce yarn stash to single digits, that's not gonna happen. Crochet one wearable, I am doubting that will happen or not. So for the coming month, I guess, or the coming months, all I want to probably finish, if I can't have 150 unique titles for anime because of this sort of slumpish feeling, I at least want to have finished the 20 animated movies as well as the 15 manga. At least fill these two up. That is like my goal as of the moment, because the whole 20 books in 2024 is already finished. For this one, I have abandoned this. This is supposed to be like a steps tracker, period tracker sort of situation. This was from an old Starbucks calendar, or like journal rather, Starbucks planner from, I don't know if it was like 2015 or 2018 or something, but it has been so long since I have like Starbucks. Like I have been out of college for about 6 years now, and the last Starbucks that I had was like in the beginning of 2018 when I was graduating, I guess, and I needed a boost. But other than that, I haven't touched Starbucks at all. This is the projects list. I have finished one project in the month of April, but I really hated it. So it is like supposed to be a D20 pillow plush, but it ended up looking so ugly and so unfinished looking that we decided to just make it like a sort of gem-ish pillow, I guess, like a decorative pillow that is very ugly, but it's very comfy. It's just very ugly to me. So yeah, I haven't really touched any of my crochet projects for the month of April. Bucket list, I didn't even fill out anything here. And the TBR, I don't think I read anything from this TBR. Yeah, I haven't. Or like this one, The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I should have like, I don't have a pen with me, but that is the only thing that I need to cross off there. And then we're just going to skip to the month of April. Here we are. The month of April, I think my theme was wishes and anything that's color blue and gold that fits with the drawing of Aladdin here that I have when I was a kid, when I started like copying chibi anime off of the internet or Google, did a Google search stuff there, and then like try to copy it and try to learn how to color and this is how I started. I found the old drawing and decided to just use it up as a decorative centerpiece for this month's spread, or cover page rather. This is our mini calendar with a lot of like doctor's appointments. There's a lot of doctor's appointments here, and these are like the moments wherein I couldn't really go out that much, except for I had to wear like those post-surgery goggles for your eyes. And sometimes I like come across one of like my friends from high school, or like people I know, and they are like wondering why I was wearing those protective goggles, and they realize that for like 15 years, I guess, of my life, I have been using glasses, and them seeing me without glasses, they were like taken aback. They thought I was wearing contact lens, but no, it's fine. I am like, good news is that my doctor actually told me that from my grade, my eye grade being 700 something and 650 something, I went from that blind to a 20/10 vision, so that's pretty much good. I do have like my TBR here. I only did not read one, A Curious Beginning. It's like the Veronica Speedwell series. I wanted to start that, however, there are like a lot of books that caught my interest more than the series, so it's digital copy, so I can read it anytime I want. Video ideas, as I said, I did not do the Q1 check-in and stash lock, but I managed to do the others. Here are my highlights. There's nothing here at the back. However, I did buy like the third book of the Magnus Chase series, Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard. I also have a reading vlog for that, and I really loved it. I actually read it in digital first because I was like not sure if it is worth it to buy, but I do have books 1 and 2. So I decided to just buy it because I really loved it. It's like my favorite of all of the 3 books in that trilogy. However, I realized when I bought it and took it home that that the copy that I bought was actually shorter than the 2 others that I previously purchased like back in 2016. So this is probably a reprint, and the paper quality was sort of like newsprint. So it was kind of disappointing, but still I have the full set. It's fine. I will get a lot of reread out of that series probably. So a lot of here, I did go to the Iloilo Mega Book Fair. This was supposed to be for my friend, like my best friend, this packaging, but I don't have any other, like other stores don't have packagings to indicate that. So I decided to like put all of her stuff in like one big pouch and not all of those little small paper bags. And I took this one, which has the stamp of like one of the sellers. I hope she doesn't mind that, but still, other than that, these are all of the books that I have read. Again, I also have that list in my memory keeping, but I did write it down in here because there's nothing else to write for the month of April actually, other than my LASIK surgery. And here we are, is one of the postcards actually that I bought during that Iloilo Mega book sale. Postcard of the arcade night at Diversion, which is like the main business district, I guess. Not main business district, it's like the modern business district of Iloilo City, because the main business district is supposed to be downtown Iloilo City, which is closer to where I live. I live like 2 streets away from that area, but this is like more of where the malls, the big condominium units, the more nightlife stuff in here. So I guess it's still very pretty actually. So yeah. That is for my highlights for this month. This is the anime list that I failed to do anything about. I only watched 3, and I decided to use this actually for the month of May as well. I didn't set up like a May, what do you call this? A May anime to watch game sort of situation. So I'm just still going to use the same list if ever I wanted to like watch anything from this. So yeah, that is for the monthly. Now we have here the weekly. I actually don't remember what I did here, to be perfectly honest, because I believe I did like, here we are for the month of April. I believe I did for the month of April is to bulk decorate all of the pages in here, like 3 weeks worth of Cozy and Chaos sit down videos I did in one video. So that's one. Here is the next one. And for that specific video, this is the last one. And for the last week of April, I have this one. Just still fun. It's very simple for a very chaotic month, to be perfectly honest. I think what I prioritize in this like whole memory keeping sort of weekly decorating in this binder is that I will use as much materials and scrap as I can fit in one page keeping it as cohesive as I can with the color scheme, and also have like a little space for me to write what actually happened that week, and not necessarily just put in a bunch and just collage. So yeah, that is for the Cozy and Chaos binder. And now we proceed to the weekly daily one. This is the journal that I keep every time beside my bed. If worst comes to worst and I won't touch any other of my journals, this is the only one that I actually need, and I really am enjoying this layout. However, there are like some April pages in here that I don't really like. I did add a Nishinoya photo, like, what do you call this, keychain from the same like Iloilo Mega Book Fair. This is like Haikyuu merch. Haikyuu movie is about to like come to the Philippines as I'm filming this, so I'm pretty much excited. Probably going to watch it with my best friend in cinemas. And yeah, we're going to flip through this. I do have like stickers here in the front that I want to use up for the month of May, so just keep it in there. I was thinking of like putting maybe a pocket in here, however it might get a little bit bulky at the front, so we'll see if I'm going to proceed with that idea. This is the fully booked what do you call this, reading challenge for 2024. I have not added anything to that list just yet, but I have read like a lot of books, so probably some of the titles here I might change up some of these, because some of like the titles that I put here are like questionable to the prompt, so we're going to like rearrange that for another time, maybe in like the quarter 2 check-in. Oops. Here we have the projects list again. It's like I placed the projects list here just so that I could see like what are the stuff that I need to do for my crochet project, and I was like pretty much motivated to do it when I was like early in 2024. Now I'm looking at this and like dreading it. So like we'll see about this. We'll see about this one. I do have like my annual goals here just to fill up the space. And as for this one, I am planning on just skipping this and retiring this whole spread. My purpose for this is actually to see how long does it take me, like timeline wise, like a timeline sort of spread. How long does it take me to read a book? And sometimes I read multiple books in the same day or the same timeline. Like I pick it up, and then if I don't feel like it, I will just drop it and look for something else. And it isn't really that, like, it's not a big of a space as I wanted it to. So like there are a lot here that are like squished together, so I didn't like how that looks, so we're going to skip this whole spread moving forward. And for this favorites list, I don't think I remember to like show this during our March in my journals flip through, but for the month of April there's a lot here. There's a lot of stuff that are part of like my highlights. Yeah, we're going to move on to the month of April. April. Here we are. So this is like the one that I complained about for the month of March. Like I don't like this. I don't like how muted the color of the pastel, probably purple, that I used was a bad idea. I wanted like something darker for the letterings, so I decided to just do this one. It does have like lighter blue in this, but it is in contrast with the darker blue, and I really enjoyed how this looked like. Blue being one of my favorite colors, the dark blue ones. So I list down here all of like shinies. Whenever there's an X here, I use the X actually just like a bullet point, because I have a surplus of like the letter X, the letter W, the letter Z probably, and like my alphabet stickers. So I decided to just combine, or like what do you call this, consolidate all of the same letters in one like page, and then use it as bullet points. So you might see me one day using all the letter D's, all the letter B's, and they don't really have meaning. They're just like decorative bullet points for like lists and stuff. So these are all of like my pulls, my shinies, my a bunch of like Genshin Impact. No, there's no Genshin Impact here. Here's a Bemis, my Honkai Star Rail, Fate Grand Order, and then Pokemon Go shinies. Pokemon Go shinies are like what I featured here are mostly like community day, and those that don't have rate up, but somehow I got those shinies like full rates, so that's fun. And then I have a little section here for like my shop, my brother's shop, that I got some stuff sold. I did sell the Kill Order, which is part of the Maze Runner series. Finally got rid of that book that a lot of people have been asking me, like inquiring about the book, but finally somebody took it. and then one Sprigatito card from like the McDonald's Happy Meal that I have a duplicate of. I was saying like, just buy it for the price of the Happy Meal and that's done. It's a duplicate, so it's fine. So yes, what are the highlights that I could tell you about this month? It was my aunt's and my grandmother's birthday, so we went out to eat. I did read a bunch of books, as I've said, but most of them are like audiobooks. So, for example, like Fourth Wing, Inheritance Games, Confessions, like the classics are mostly also like audiobook, like Wuthering Heights. I also listened to Jekyll and Hyde this month, but did not finish the whole book. So I have the book form and the audio form for it. So I only listened to the audio, but did not finish the book, the other stories in that book. So yeah, I did do a like reading vlog of the whole Magnus Chase series. I did get back to Genshin. Like, I am motivated to grind in Genshin again because Skara Wanderer is going to have his rerun like almost, I think it's next week as I'm filming this. So after this filming, I'm probably going to grind more there to get enough pulls for C6. And then there are like, I believe 3 power outs this month. Like some of the power outs are like an hour or like 15 to 30 minutes long, but there are 2 power outs. One is here. There's supposed to be one around here. Oh, there's 3. So like this one is like 7 hours, 13 hours, and 12 hours of power out. So that's quite a lot actually. So we're going to move on. I'm going to move on to the weeklies. For the weekly, this is the week when I had my LASIK surgery. There are a lot of like, I really like this spread. First of all, I really like how this looks like because it's like so full of like just commentary, reactions, reviews, and like stuff like simply journaling. That's why I haven't really touched my like daily writing journal because I have been doing it here and like I only need to scribble on a little bit at a time. So for the side, it's like my to-do list. In big bold letters, I do have like the specific and very important stuff that happened, and then I just write. I just journal everywhere. For example, here I have my reactions, initial reactions to Fourth Wing, and then if I finish it, I like write another review here with how I rated it. I also have this big letters when I have LASIK surgery. I didn't even put the time. Like it took me 14 minutes inside of this operating room to finish my operation. However, the next day, the reason why I put reopen flap here is because I did vlog this, or like I did mention at one of my Cozy and Chaos episodes, wherein my right eye was feeling so much pain, but it turns out the way they put back my eye, like the eye flap situation, was a bit wrong, was misaligned, or like it curled or something. So it was painful for me to shut my eyes. So I had to go back in the operating room again for the second time. It was nerve-wracking, but I'm fine now. What else? So yeah, that's basically all of the stuff that I technically have been doing for the whole month of April. So this one, another one that is like super chaotic, but I really like this. However, like the colors are just not it. This is when I got Gepard. Or Gepard, I don't know how you pronounce his name, but finally was able to proceed with some of the story, like the main story of Honkai Star Rail, and I was like doing my best to grind for Aventurine, and I lost 50-50 to Gepard, which, to be fair, I really wanted Gepard anyway, so I was saying like, if I lose, give me Gepard, that's fine. Like my grandmother's birthday was here, post-operation checkup for my surgery, a lot of stuff here, power out here. For the top parts here that I put actually, I do not, I disregard the columns here, like what they are written in, like this week's goals, to-do list, and to-learn list. I just put in here all of the media that I want to consume for that week. Like if ever I don't have the idea to, like, what am I going to watch or read this week? So I give myself like an initial 3 or 4 or 6 choices at the top there, and then put in like a checklist to do, like what I am supposed to be filming, what am I supposed to be preparing for, like IRL stuff. So that is how I set up like these pages. And this is like the one that I said that I did not like. Like look at it, it's so blank. Sometimes I wanted to do this like very minimalist. Like I have those days, like in the earlier parts of this journal or like this notebook wherein I just like follow the lines. But ever since I discovered that I can go out of the lines and be as messy and as full as can be, my maximalist side of like creating and filling up the page kicks in. So that's why this is like so blank to me as of the moment. But still, it's fine. It's okay. I decided to just, after this, flip the page, turn the page, and it's going to be over, and I don't have to look at this anymore. So yeah, that's it. April is done, and it's May pages at the end there. I'm going to show this quickly because I'm going to abandon this page as well. After I finished like the second book of the Magnus Chase series here, when I was doing that reading vlog, I filled out the page and I was like thinking, oh, I'm going to use this page, like the evaluation of the year page, like stick in a new piece of paper and just like follow the format of this page and it will be another page. And while I was thinking that, I have already reached my 20 and 2024 reading goal, and I was like, if this filled out quickly because it's like big spaces, if I'm going to put it here, another of those, I will be redundant to another journal that I am going to show you in a bit. So I decided to just fill this out. It feels satisfying, even though I still have two here that I haven't really finished. I started but did not finish. I'm just going to abandon this page. It's going to be that. And also this one. My 200 list. This is for anime. I'm going to get back to this, hopefully. If I have like the motivation to watch like 20 animated movies, it's going to count. What if I binge all of Studio Ghibli movies in like a week or so? It's going to fill up real quickly. So this is going to stay. Alright, this one is not going to stay. So yeah, that is for the weekly daily notebook that I keep with me all the time right beside me. And the new one that I'm going to show you, I already showed this actually in like previous vlogs or like videos. However, in a flip through video specific of all of the notebooks, I haven't showed this yet. So this is my new reading journal. I added like Froggy with a flower here because it's so adorable and I really wanted to use him. So I stick it in there. It's very shiny notebook. I got this of W.H. Smith, I guess, when I went to Cebu for the first time with my brother, and I wanted to use it. So I have been watching a lot of like booktubers and all of their reading journals. So I was like feeling a little bit of FOMO because I've been using my steno notebook for the past month as a reading journal. However, I wanted to be more creative. I wanted to use a bunch of like my scrap supplies and stationery in it, want to be as chaotic as I can, and I wanted it to be in the bound notebook, so I decided to use it. And this is how it is. I'm going to flip through this from the very beginning, just so you can see how it looks like. So I start here with books read in 2024. This is just a little list of all of the books that I'm probably going to read. I'm probably going to fit 100 books in here. That's why I saved 2 spaces. But if ever this is going to like overflow or something, I'm just going to add a tip in. But that's getting ahead of ourselves. This is probably not going. I'm not probably going to read 100 books in 2024. Next page here, instead of like doing a monthly sort of situation when it comes to this, because I started this in April, I decided to put all of my Q1 readings in like this little envelope style of a page that I tore up from a what do you call this, used book, like a thrifted book. The page has a lot of space here, so I decided to just put January, February, and March and what I read during that month and their star rating, and then all of that for the collection of the whole month. For the collection of the whole quarter, I decided which ones are my 5-star reads, what is my favorite book of all of them, what is my least favorite book of all of them, and then what is my favorite quote. So that is that spread, and then immediately we pick up on like all of like the readings. I did decorate it. At first, I decorated based on the cover or like what the cover color is. Try to coordinate with it, add like the biggest quote ever just to fill out the space. And I really like this aesthetic. I really like how it works. However, as you can see later in the next few pages, I stopped drawing out all of the covers. So this is nothing new actually for like the entries. I just added a bunch of like writing, rants, bits and pieces that I remembered. I even have like this like map of like, I can't remember where this is, but it was a map that my brother brought home from one of his trips, and I see that it looks like a track of some sort, and I decided to just put it in the Silver Locomotive Mystery page. And as you can see, it's very much like I was trying my best to follow what the what do you call this, the aesthetic of the book and the story is at the beginning here. Like if I have like materials and like scrap pieces of stationery that could like tell you or like give you a feel of like, this is like my favorite, as you can see, it gives you like a feel of what the genre is and what is the mood of the whole book that I was reading. So I wanted to reflect that with all of my decorations. I even was quite proud of this one as well, because we used to have this like what do you call this, Dragon Shield sleeves. They are card sleeves that are professional grade for people who joins like professional tournaments when it comes to TCG. So Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, Card Fight Vanguard, One Piece, Pokemon TCG. You could use like Dragon Shield if it can fit. They're like outer protective layer. So my brother sells those in the past, and he bought like this big carton of it, like a big package of it, to retail. And it came with this box wherein it's like dragon scales. And so I decided to like, that was like months ago, like almost like January, and I was thinking like when I took it, I kept like one side of the box and thinking, where am I gonna use this? And I ended up reading Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, like listening to the audiobook of it, and decided to use it as that decoration. So it's kind of perfect actually. Sometimes hoarding, I guess, works, and in this case it did. But I did make a mistake, because Fourth Wing and Iron Flame I actually listened to in the month of April, but I wrote it before. I was like trigger happy when I was decorating all of this, so I've written it down before I made my April spreads. So this is like the cover spread for the month of April. I put down all of the titles that I have finished for the month of April, along with their author, some of them actually, others I did not put there, and their rating. I did tip in here all of the books that I was hoping to read, like my little TBR. I just added it down there and like a tip in. I was expecting to like write it down here, but decided to just tip it in. My 5-star reads, favorite book, least favorite book, and then my favorite quote of all of the books that I've read. Supposedly, I was supposed to choose like just one favorite book. I was supposed to like, I wanted to choose Confessions actually, because it was like so different and so horrific as well, but it was told in a way that is like very emotional to me. I really wanted to choose Confessions by Kanae Minato. However, I also read Ship of the Dead, which is like my favorite out of the Magnus Chase series. I also finished reading Vicious like on the 30th of April, which is my very first V. Schwab book, but also like I really enjoyed it. Like for someone who is new to this author and is already having like these feelings for the writing style on the very first book, I have high hopes. So I'm just going to flip through this very quickly. This is the reason why, like, look at it. This is the reason why I stopped drawing out all of the covers, because I really don't like how I did the Inheritance Games covers, because this is actually my second attempt. The first attempt was a lot more chaotic compared to this one. So I stopped doing that. Like I did this first and then I did this one. And I was like thinking I want to read the whole Inheritance Games trilogy, and I'm not going to draw the covers of each and every one of them because I really hate it. So yeah. I did like this one though. It's really fun. That's why I said Confessions is like my favorite so far out of this. So I'm just going to flip this quickly because I'm still going to film the April wrap-up. So I just don't want to spoil this too much. This one is supposed to be my Q1, or like Q2 rather, TBR. I'm going to pull out some of the titles here and there if I ever want to pick them up. So far, like out of all of these, I only picked up Daughter of the Moon Goddess and Starling House, but I haven't really gotten the mood to like read it through like in one sitting or like in multiple sittings. I did happen to like first like get the first few chapters of Sherlock Holmes Volume 1, like Study in Scarlet. First 2 chapters of it last night. It was enjoyable. And yeah, it gets really chaotic here. I haven't really done this because I finished this in the month of May. So this was a mistake. Some of them are like a mistake here. Other than this, To Kill a Mockingbird, I also finished in the month of May. So what I want to do moving forward is that if I haven't finished it, I won't make a spread out of like to put it in. Just so I won't do this again wherein I place it in the month previous and then I finish it in the month after it. This is a little spread that I did out of all of the, these are supposed to be like the sticky highlighters. If you don't want to highlight your books, you can opt for a sticky note type version of it to highlight the lines that you want. So at first, I wasn't sure if I'm going to keep the Magnus Chase series when I read it, when I started reading it. So I was like thinking of like, if I don't like the series, I will sell it, but decided that I will keep it and annotate it and do all of the stuff, reread it and all, and keep it, of course. So when I did that, I took out all of the sticky notes like strips here. So what you do is like, you do that. It's like perfectly fitting. Oops. Like it perfectly fits with like fonts of like books. And I wanted to like take it out all of it, but not waste it. So I decided to make it with like decorations here. So these are all of the books and series that I want to read in this lifetime. Probably we'll get around to it. So as you can see here, Malazan series. It's the, I think it was the, my friend called it like the D&D inspired high fantasy, high action book series, and there are 10 books, and each of these books net around 800 to 1,200 what do you call this, pages per book, and it's like a very big investment, and I am pretty much interested in it. However, it's still quite intimidating. I even have like found a digital copy of it wherein it is like the whole file is all 10 books. Like it's not like divided into 10 books. It's like the whole file. Like once you open it, it's all 10 books in one ginormous file. And it's around, since my ebook reader actually reduces, or like, not reduces, like lengthens the page count based on my font style. So during the time when I open it, I have a very big font style because I don't want to strain my eyes looking at tiny font in the screen when I still have my surgery, like ongoing recovery from the surgery. So when I opened it, it was 32,000 pages long. I was like, okay, out. But we'll see. I'm going to like, I want to try like at least one. That's the goal for 2024. At least one of the Malazan books. I also have listed here Red Rising Saga, the Mistborn trilogy, which it is in the lineup for my May TBR, the first book of Mistborn, Final Empire. Shades of Magic first book is also in my TBR for the month of May, and also Vengeful, the book 2 of Villains, because I'm really much enjoying this one. And I did finish listening to the audiobook of To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. It's a classic. So I was curious because a lot of people liked it, and a lot of people like had to, in the Americas, I believe, had to read this in school. And so I was curious and I wanted to read it. I wanted to read a lot of classics that are like recommended to like students in like for their readings in school, because I did take one literature class, or like 2 literature class, one in high school, one in college, and they're mostly like Greek mythology, Odyssey, Dante's Inferno sort of situation, like bits and pieces of those types of literature, and not necessarily like these ones. So I wanted to like listen to it at least. And yeah, this is the last part, and here is my May TBR. So I'm going to stop here because this is like May pages now, and there's a lot of here as of the moment. So yeah, so far I am enjoying this. I really want to like I'm not even halfway there. No, I'm not halfway there yet, but this is exciting. This is something that I really wanted to try for myself, at least this year. I did have like previous reading journals when I was younger. However, they were like very much just ranting and like, oh my gosh, blah 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 blah. No, never mind. So I think I threw that away. I don't know. They were all like 39 clues related stuff, but in any case, that is the new one that I have for this month, and that is it for the stack of books that I have for the month of April. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books, 6 notebooks rather, 6 journals for this month. A smaller stack actually, but that is just because it's -2 of my normal usual notebooks. But I guess moving forward, this is the stuff that you're going to see, and I will update you next time once there is more to this. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today and for flipping through all of these with me. April was like a chaotic month, but it was also very fulfilling and pretty much something, some sort of like not necessarily life-changing, but still quite a life-changing experience for me, to have like no more going back to like eye doctor every year to check out your eyes if it increased or not, and the fear of like retinal detachment and early age like blindness, and I'm just very happy that I was able to like get this LASIK surgery. And yeah, and it was like also on like a promo sale, to be perfectly honest. It was like it was supposed to be like 70,000 pesos, and it was when I took the surgery, it was like 55,000. So it was like big savings, because every year, you think about it, every year, ever since like if you count like today money, like today, my glasses, the latest glasses that I had for like the month of January 2024 was worth around 5,800, and that was like the cheapest one that you could get. 5,800. You had to wait for like 1 to 2 weeks for it to be shipped to you. That is like the lens only. The frame costs around 1,400 to 2,000, depending on like your quality. The best quality that you could get is like 4 to 5,000 pesos if you want like that sort of frame to last you like more than 2 years. So every year you change, and every year until the end of your life, you are like from 5,000 to 12,000 pesos of your lens, because I was like in the borderline 6,000. I was in the borderline 600 grade, 650 grade, and that was the 5,800. So if I step onto the 700 to 800 grade in my eyes, that will bump me up to like 13,000 pesos at the cheapest when it comes to lens. And I am like around, like you could say I'm in my late 20s, so I still have a lot, like probably 50 or like at least 50 years left in my lifetime. And you could see that 50 times 15,000 for the rest of your life, because I change lenses every year, that is like pretty pricey. So to have this opportunity to get my eyes done for 55K, that's already like that's already very much worth it. And no more fear of like other diseases or like such that would happen, that would lead to early blindness. So yeah, just a little sneak of like what has been on my mind for the month of April. And yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me again. I know it is, I'm sorry, it's like very serious and very sensitive of a topic, but yeah, I'm just saying that I am pretty much thankful for this opportunity to be able to have that blessing and like this recovery that is pretty quick. So yeah, thank you so much again, and I will see you in the next video. So until then guys, take care. Bye.